Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Tonight we push forward with even more Age of Overlord reveals. We got the first brand new archetype for the set last night, and then prior to that we had already gotten the Visa Starfrost stuff a couple days ago, as well as the cover art support for like the Z-Arc stuff, a little while ago as well. So very exciting. We move into Wild Survivor support territory. So we actually have 2 cards for Vanquish Soul, 2 cards for Nouvelles, and a new card for TRANSCENDRAKE here. I don't know anything about these, so let's just get into these things and let's see how they do. We all know Vanquish Soul is like already on the cusp of high tier competitive play, but let's see how this wave goes, if it's going to push them even further. So this is Vanquish Soul Zhao Long. This is a level 5 Fire Worm. Weird stat line, the fact that he's 5, so he doesn't help with like pushing into rank 4s or anything, and he's a worm, which we don't have in the archetype either. 24, 21 for the stats, pretty decent, and you can only use both of his effects once per turn, and they also can't be activated in the same chain. Okay. Second, so first, here we go. First effect, if you reveal a card or cards in the hand, to activate a Vanquish Soul card's effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so almost all the Vanquish Soul monsters, I believe all of them actually, have an effect where they can reveal different attribute monsters in hand, and if you do, you get a certain bonus effect, so this card would just extend you when you're able to get to those types of setups, which is very easy. So cool, easy extender. Second effect, as a quick effect, you can activate one of these effects by revealing a monster in hand of the listed attributes. The first one is if you reveal one fire monster, change the battle position of a monster on the field. Okay, super meh. If you reveal 2 different fire monsters in your hand, add a Vanquish Soul card from your deck to your hand, except for another copy of himself. Interesting. This card to me is just okay. Being able to put the extra body on the field doesn't even really help this deck because you're not really going into anything. Maybe if this was a 4, I'd feel a little better about it because then at least it helps the deck push into rank 4s more often. But like his stats, his like stat lineup is just kind of awkward that way. That he's not really helping you get to anything crazy unless the deck gets like a Link 2 down the line. Then extenders become a little bit better. Other than that, his real only payoff is if you can get 2 fires in hand and make sure you're able to get the double, get the second add, right, for any Vanquish Soul card. But even then, just okay. I mean, there's a world where you play one of this, where you have a particularly strong hand that is able to do this setup. A hand where you like start with Raisin. Raisin searches you either this or a different fire, and then you're able to bounce Raisin back to hand, and with like a Borger or a Valius, and then when you do that, like, or when you do like, a reveal effect, you get to summon Zhao Long, and then Zhao Long can reveal the Raisin you bounced back with maybe another fire in hand, and boom, get a second search. So again, it's not super clean, but maybe there's a world where that second search could be worth it for Vanquish Soul. But to me, just an okay card. From there, we move to Snow Devil, Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. This is a normal trap. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Reveal up to 3 monsters in your hand, a Dark, an Earthen, and Fire. Can't do multiple of each. It has to be 1 of each of these types. Apply these effects in sequence based on the number revealed. If you do just 1, you inflict 400 damage to your opponent, then you special a Vanquish Soul monster from your hand. Okay, someone's from hand, but, burns too, fine. If you reveal 2 different attributes, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Also, Vanquish Soul monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. Okay, again, not that worth it. And if you reveal all 3 of those attributes, Dark, Earth, and Fire, the main attributes of the archetype, inflict 800 damage to your opponent, then you can destroy all monsters on the field. So there you go. This is a classic, probably requires too much card. The payoff is decent if you get all the way to the final effect, but how consistently are we able to do that, and how many times is this card really underwhelming unless you get all the way to the 3. So to me, this one's definitely not going to end up seeing play in the deck unless we get like crazy ways to like get like tons of draws, tons of searches in the deck. I don't really see this card seeing play too much. So yeah, I would say this one's okay. This one's kind of a whiff. Totally okay with that, by the way. Vanquish Soul is already good out the gate. I'm sure they'll get more cards in the set following this one as well. Not too bummed out about these not being crazy. From there, we move to Nouvelles. This is the new monster, Poissonnier de Nouvelles. Sorry about the names on these. They're brutal. This is a level 1 Dark Fairy Pendulum Effect monster. 700 attack, 1700 defense. This is a 8 scale, so a pendulum. I don't know if this archetype has any other pendulums. I don't remember them ever having a pendulum, but okay. Scale 8, good scale. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card once per turn. If you control a ritual monster, target a monster on the field, special summon this card, then change the targeted monster's battle position. Okay, I mean, it does just extend itself onto the field if you were already able to set up a ritual. So that's cool. Nice. All right, from there, you can only use the first monster effect of this card once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can activate one of these effects. Add a level 1 ritual monster or 1 recipe card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. You want both of those things, right? Because this deck is all about like climbing, right? You have to start by ritual summoning the smallest guy, which I'm assuming is level 1. And then it kind of like helps you keep climbing into the rest of the rituals. And if you need a recipe to be the other side of it, you get that too. Cool. That's a cool +1 effect. That's on normal or special. And like we saw here, this special effect definitely can be done if you just already can put a ritual on field. Cool. Okay, second effect, you can choose one of these. You can do the first effect, or you can banish any number of recipe cards from grave, and if you do, special summon a Nouvelle ritual monster from hand with a level equal to the number banished. So that appears just be another way to essentially just do a de facto ritual summon, even if you don't have a recipe that you're able to get to hand. I don't expect that to be too crazy, because like, why wouldn't you just search a recipe at that point? But okay, works for me. Second effect, if this card on the field is tributed and added to the extra deck face up, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Oh, so this card kind of like grinds by itself, right? You normal this card, search a recipe or a level 1 ritual, and then when you tribute this for the ritual summon of the level 1 ritual you search, it goes to scale, and then on the next turn, if you still control a ritual, you can just use it to summon itself, boom, get another search, keep it going. That's kind of cool. Cool card. It's a searcher. It's a starter. It's like low-key a normal summon or not kind of an extender. More of a grind card, but still cool. All right, second card we have here is Confectionery Contest. Okay, quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. Special summon a Nouvelle Pendulum monster and 1 Patisseal Pendulum monster from your hand, deck, and or extra deck, 1 on each field. Also, you cannot use monsters as material for fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon for the rest of the turn, except Nouvelle and Patisseal monsters. Okay, so we have ourselves an E-Telly card here. You give yourself 1, you give your opponent the other. That includes the new level 1, so just summon her without normal. She searches you either a recipe or the level 1 ritual, and then you go from there. Very interesting. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what the Patisseal is. Off the top of my head, I don't know what this is. I don't know if they already exist or if it's something that's going to come out down the line. Please let me know on these cards what that is. This is by far the archetype I know the least out of these 3. Second effect, during the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a face-up monster on the field. It gains 200 attack for each recipe card in the grave. Okay, just like a battle phase, buff effect. Cool. Interesting. I'm really curious as to like how good the payoff is, how much these 2 cards help. They seem like more consistency cards than power cards overall, but definitely not complaining about that for sure. So yeah, let me know down below how your opinions on these cards. If you've been following this archetype more, by far to me, it's the one that kind of perplexes me more than the other 2. So love to hear your thoughts on that. And then we finish up today's news with Transcendosaurus Exoraptor. Okay, a Link 3 dinosaur. This is a Link 3 Dark Dino, 3k attack. That is huge for a Link 3. About as big as you're ever going to see a Link 3. Materials. 2+ dinosaur monsters, including a level 6 or higher monster. So, one of your dinos has to be level 6 or higher, which is fine because Transcendrakes and dinos in general tend to do that pretty easily. And I like that it could take a Link 2 dino potentially as well to make this, but yeah. All right, cool. 3 hard ones return effects. The first one reads, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon a dinosaur monster from your hand. Okay, That is already really interesting. Wow, that is kind of interesting. Because, like, well, I wonder if there are combos where we're able to go, like, Oviraptor by himself, like, searches Theresia and sets up this card at the same time. I don't know if it would by itself, but could you imagine if you could do that and then just special Theresia, and now Theresia searches you Dynamorphia, like a 1-card Rexterm, and now you just have Rexterm right on top of whatever else you got set up? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, summoning a Dino from hand is not bad, especially some that could be stuck in hand, or an extender, like I said, stuff like Theresia or Oviraptor later on. I don't know. There's definitely got to be something here we can do with this for sure. But it is only from hand, so it's not the best. Second effect, if a face-up dinosaur monster or monsters, this card points to, is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. Battle or sent to the graveyard. So it is just sent generically, but his arrows are terrible. If you summon just him in the EMZ, you can't even do this. Like with any dino you control, you would have to summon him below the EMZ, which means you would have to have even more ability to like spam the board. Not great. And then third effect, if this card is destroyed, you can shuffle a normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then special summon this card. That's not bad. That's the first effect I actually think is kind of decent on this card, at least the most decent of the 3. You know, generic destruction, protection, battle, card effect. If he's destroyed, he is probably just coming back, which is pretty cool. I guess that's how you kind of set up that second effect. Oh, that's definitely what you do. You do like Transcendrake stuff and you pop this yourself. Or, you know, Baby Sarasaurus stuff. You know, the deck pops itself. So pop itself and then it'll bring itself back by shuffling a normal. And then it'll be below so it can point to other dinos. That's what you do. Pretty cool. Interesting. You know, not crazy, but like dinos are not necessarily looking for crazy engine pushers these days. They're looking for like flexibility and cards that give them like ways to play in certain states. In my opinion, that's kind of feels like what they need more. But I don't know. It's cool. I honestly don't mess around with dinos enough to know exactly how much this will help them. But anything is really welcome at this point. This is just a decent generic dino support card, so we will take it. All in all, overall, I would say a little bit underwhelming, right? Like, considering these archetypes just came out, Vanquish Soul's already competitive. Nothing really pushing the needle for them here. Nouvelles probably by far has the best support here from their 2 new cards. I just don't know where they were at to begin with. So definitely let me know in the comment section where they land after that. And then, you know, the Link 3, why not? Let me know. Let me know where that puts dinosaurs at this moment in time. But, you know, getting this stuff out of the way, we knew these were coming, but now we get to like the fun part where we just get support for archetypes we didn't even predict, we didn't even know was coming, and hopefully it's a couple people out there's favorite decks. But we'll see. I'm out of here for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down below on this support for these archetypes, and I am out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.